Here at the Rutledge Perspective, we will talk often about relationships, how to build them, which ones are important, how to keep them, how to increase your network, and how to do all of that authentically. Well, we will also talk about the activities that we need to do that may not be ones we really want to do, but activities that are necessary nonetheless, especially activities around building those relationships. And today we're going to talk about one of those. And this particular activity is one that for me is so painful and so uncomfortable that I would literally rather pluck up my eyelashes than do this activity. But I do it, and you should too. And that is attending the corporate event. Now, some of you are saying, Laurel, really, the corporate event? You couldn't think of anything that is more painful than that? Well, yes, I can. But for this day, the thing that we're going to talk about is the corporate event. Now, my party animals out there are thinking, are you kidding me? The bigger the gala, the more fabulous the place, the better. It is a great place to meet people. I love talking to folks. It's more informal, and that is fantastic. And I love you for that because you are the ones that make it less painful for me. So if you are one of those who is at the party, just saying, where's the party? Because I'm going to be there. Then the tips for you I have are make sure you're managing that energy. That is fantastic. But remember, this isn't your backyard barbecue. This is still a corporate event. It's a gala for your nonprofit. It is a committee event. It's an organization event. It's a department event. These are colleagues, community members, supervisors, subordinates. This is still a professional setting. So you want to be sure that you are mindful of how you are speaking with people to whom you're speaking, how informal or formal you're being, everything from your words to your dress. You also want to make sure that you are mindful of your consumption. Again, this is not your pool party. This is actually a corporate event or a professional event. So you want to make sure you're mindful of what you're consuming and how that impacts your interaction with others. So party on, just do so mindfully. For those of you who are having to really shore up your energy to do these things, I have some additional tips for you. And hopefully these will help you because they've made it a little bit easier for me to manage through these processes. The first one is I always get there early and I always work the room. So what does that mean? When I know that I have to attend something after I've geared myself up, I make sure that I am there early or at least on time. I check in, I put my things away, I go to the bar, I grab a drink, and I work the room. And when I work the room, I'm really working the room authentically. I want to know who people are, why they're there, what's their interest, all of those kind of things, whether it's colleagues, subordinates, supervisors, or whether this is a nonprofit and it's a cause that's important, or a community event where the organization is there to support. I want to make sure that I am making authentic connections with people. And one connection does not necessarily a relationship build, but one connection could make a difference to someone. So I make those authentic connections. I'll go to the buffet and talk to the people in line. I'll sit at a table with people I don't know. I'll go find a group of folks and have a conversation with them. Talk to the people on either side of me at a sit-down dinner. I make a connection. The other reason I make that connection is because it gives me additional play when my energy levels are low and I have to vacate the premises. So if I've gotten to my hour and a half, 2 hour limit and I really need to exit, then by the time people realize I've left, I've probably gotten another 30, 45 minutes because they're saying, hey, have you seen Laurel? I wanted to talk to her about something. Oh yeah, I've seen her. She's over by the buffet. Or wait a minute, I thought she was talking to Jane. So that'll go around another 30 or 45 minutes. And meanwhile, I am at home in my slippers watching Netflix. Happy camper. So get there early, work the room authentically, and then manage your energy levels to know when you need to leave. The next thing is have some talking points, especially if there's a community event, customer event, or some kind of cause where there's some specific messaging that you want to make sure you get out. Not only does it alleviate some of the stress that you can have, but it also enables you to be a deliverer or a messenger for the cause. And that's really important. And it helps, again, build your reputation, build those connections, build the network. The third thing, which is probably one of the most important, is know your limits. And that's not just the limit on the consumption of adult beverages, if that's what you choose to do, but also your energy limit. So you noted I said I get in, I grab a drink, and I start working the room. My drink of choice tends to be tonic water with some lime and a stir. Why? Because I hate having that conversation around, what are you drinking? Why aren't you drinking? Oh, you only drink wine? You want a beer? I hate that conversation. And since I'm usually my own designated driver, I just as soon not be drinking and driving. So I grab a tonic and I walk the room. People don't know if it's tonic, Sprite, or gin and tonic. And it doesn't matter. The point is it's taking the uncomfortable conversation off the table. Because in relationships, it's not always about your comfort. It's about the comfort of the person to whom you're talking, the person with whom you want to build the relationship. So determine what your limits are and make sure you are mindful of that limit and stay within the limit. From a resource perspective, if you start to really get drained, and you know when you get drained, that means you get cranky and you're not necessarily as pleasant, even it shows on your face, then know that you want to probably exit or find a mechanism to manage through that in this public setting. You are there to make connections, to build relationships, and you don't want that drain of energy to inadvertently undermine everything you've done. After all, you've now taken the energy to get up and get to the party. So don't ruin all of your efforts simply because you've overstayed your energy level. The other thing you can do, number 4, is make a plan with a colleague. So if you know the person who's managing the gala, volunteer, maybe help set up or help tear down. Now that can sometimes be a problem with depending on your energy level. So understand that, but that working the event enables you to have less and less small talk because you're working the event. So think about that as something. And then finally, enjoy yourself. It is one time, one night, 1 hour, 4 hours. It is not the rest of your life. And the ultimate outcome is you want to be able to make connections. You want to be able to demonstrate that you can be a spokesperson, that you are a community member, that you are mindful, that you are someone who's approachable, and that you are aware. And so use this opportunity to be the best you that you can be and enable people to know you. This is about building relationships. This is about building your reputation. The thing that comes to mind is I listened to a podcast that was talking to Ken Frazier, who is the CEO of Merck, African-American male CEO of Merck. And among many questions was, how did you make this happen? How did you navigate this field? And his response was, one of them was, I had to become user-friendly. Going to the party enables you to become user-friendly. You don't have to tell everyone your life story or all of your business. That is not necessary. But letting a little bit of your guard down, letting people in a little bit so they know who you are, will help to build those relationships. So make sure you go to the party, put on your fabulous shoes and your great jewelry, and get out there. It will be worth it in the end. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like a little bit more information or discussion on this topic, feel free to go over to my blog where I have a little bit longer discussion on this issue, and feel free to follow me there. You can always also reach out to me on laurelrutledge.com. If you would like to have a detailed conversation, I'd love to schedule a discovery call with you. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Thank you for visiting my village. I am so excited that you did, and I'm truly humbled you chose to spend some of your time with me. If this or another episode of the Rutledge Perspective spoke to you, please give us a great rating. And please leave your comments, as I want to know your perspective on this topic. Your comments form the basis for continuous improvement and additional content, and I take them very seriously. You can find more information on episodes of the show or book a discovery call with me on laurelrutledge.com. You can also follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Oh, and if there's someone you think would enjoy or benefit from the Rutledge Perspective, please pass it along.